Alright, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is ex-FEMA employee accused of skipping pro-Trump homes speaks out. We're here for that. Let's hear the excuses, guys.
A political storm over the federal response to Hurricane Milton will hit Capitol Hill tomorrow. A House oversight hearing is going to probe allegations that FEMA workers skipped over going to homes with Donald Trump political lawn signs. Now, FEMA claims that a rogue employee told workers in Florida to bypass those homes, and Republicans have cried foul, claiming it was all politically motivated. FEMA fired that woman, Marnie Washington. They say it was, quote, a clear violation of FEMA's values and principles to help people regardless of their political affiliation. This was reprehensible.
Guys, absolutely. Completely. Like, if it is an organization where everyone is paying into, it's based off your tax dollars, you should not worry about whoever you're voting for being the reason why you're not able to utilize a service that is freely basically given to your fellow Americans, guys. It's inappropriate.
Florida even sued Washington and FEMA. Well, now Ms. Washington is firing back, saying that it's common practice for FEMA teams to avoid some places when it's based on hostile interactions. With me now, former FEMA official Marnie Washington. Marnie, thank you so much for joining. I understand this has been very difficult for you. You have received death threats and you don't feel safe.
That's a bit much, but let's go.
No, I don't. And thank you for allowing me on your show and for giving me a voice. It's been a tumultuous event and an uphill battle. But what I'd like for the American people to know is before I even deployed to Florida, that this was the work culture there. I was on 2 teams in Florida. And the first team, when I arrived, they were implementing avoidance and de-escalation. And unfortunately, that trend ran with those Trump campaign signs. So before I even had my own crew in Highlands County, this was the practice.
Like, you do understand what you're saying right now on the internet, right? Like, you're now out, saying that it is something internal. If it is something internal where you're saying, okay, just because you think that someone has a political affiliation that is completely against yours, right? Let's say, or I guess it's discretionary. You have the ability to just skip people's houses. What is that? What she's saying, guys? I hope not, right? Because to my knowledge, the entire time, it was just this person who said all these things. But she's saying, no. It's the culture of the organization. Oh, my God, guys.
And it's verifiable.
Verifiable.
Say, excuse me, avoidance and de-escalation. You shared the field guidelines with us, which urge workers to remove themselves from a hostile situation if they feel unsafe for any reason and if they feel threatened. Were there reports of hostility in the neighborhoods that you were responding to as a result of the presence of signs or otherwise?
Yes, we've had people verbally express to us that our presence was unwelcome and unwanted. Some people had some tact about it, and some people were not so nice about it. But all of this information was communicated with my task force lead, which is my direct supervisor. So I did not act on my own volition. Everything we did was out of the focus of safety and making sure our team felt comfortable.
Who gave those orders? You appear to be conveying them, but you weren't the one where they originated. Is that right?
That's correct. All of my orders come from my task force lead.
Well, the names.
Chad Hershey. All of my orders come from my task force lead, Chad Hershey. His whole mantra this entire deployment was to make sure people felt comfortable and make sure that they felt safe. And that's because we were in what FEMA categorizes political hostile territory.
Do you know how they define politically hostile territory? Was it a particular campaign that you were feeling that way towards, or was just the idea of the times that you were in at the times of the relief being requested?
Guys,
again, before I was even deployed to Florida, there are accounts of Trump supporters being very passionate about their political stance. And unfortunately, that led to them saying they would either do bodily harm to FEMA workers or they would take threatening actions towards FEMA workers.
All right, so here's the thing, guys. If it's on a moderately individual basis, then shouldn't you be looking to file charges because these individuals are in fact looking to commit heinous activities, let's say actions, to federal officers, right, of sorts. If that's the case, that should have been done, right? So there should be a paper trail involving that. Because what it sounds like is, okay, if you do not have the same political ideology of most likely the head of FEMA, then you get no assistance? Because that's what it sounds like. I'm trying to make it make sense in my head, but that's all I'm hearing. And if that's the case, then why is this person the only one being looked at? I think now, in fact, FEMA should be looked into pretty thoroughly, because it sounds like the entire time all of these accusations were being made, the left was basically saying, that's a lie, that's misinformation, that's all this other nonsense, but now we're encountering it on, of all places, CNN, okay? And you're basically admitting it. You're admitting the quiet parts out loud. Like when you were saying everything was fine with Joe Biden, then we find out that Joe Biden can barely tie a shoe. Guys, what's happening here? You can't keep calling people liars when we're gonna end up finding out the truth. Like momentarily, it sounds like.
Workers, or they would take threatening actions towards FEMA workers.
So individuals.
And that was the trend, not just in Florida, but you'll see that in North Carolina as well and Georgia.
Did that translate to avoiding all homes that had a Trump sign, or were there select neighborhoods that you implemented that trend in or responded that way?
That's an excellent question. It was only selected areas where teammates felt uncomfortable. They did not feel safe and they feared for their safety.
So if this was something that you were following from FEMA's protocol, you didn't invent it, you didn't originate it, it was already a practice, you say, before you even got down there, why are you taking all the heat?
Question. Go ahead.
It is the surge capacity team that leaked that information, and they did it with the correct timing after President Trump took office. So this raised questions of violation of the Hatch Act, which clearly there's not, because we registered Trump supporters. We've given them service as well, just we avoided the areas that were hostile. Unfortunately, I ended up with double the teammates. We're supposed to only have 5. I ended up with 11 teammates, and half of those teammates proved to be anti-FEMA. They were quite critical of the entire deployment process while we canvassed Highlands County.
Do you think you're being scapegoated? Because FEMA noted in your dismissal
I think she's trying to bait and switch us.
letter that you had no prior disciplinary action, none, but this alleged misconduct totally outweighed your positive record. What did that feel like when you read that?
I'm certain I'm being scapegoated because my superior has been demoted in the past for giving the wrong orders.
Okay.
So now that this person is my superior, I've done my best to not only serve him well, but also serve the Highland County well as well. But I'm the scapegoat here, because it doesn't make any sense. You have someone with a clean record that comes highly recommended, and then you have someone that's been demoted in the past for egregious acts, yet you retain this person and promote them, but yet fire me and basically leave me out to be scrutinized and lie and tell the American people I was working on my own volition. I don't create policy. FEMA does. I just implement it in the field.
Well,
where's the
FEMA
documentation?
Administrator Chris Well is going to be testifying at tomorrow's hearing. Marnie, given all that you're experiencing,
Oh, gosh.
what do you
guys.
want to hear from her?
It would be nice if Ms. Criswell would be human and come to terms with the fact that FEMA has not addressed the safety concerns that the crew leads and the specialists experience out in the field. There are plenty of reports that discuss hostile encounters, is how FEMA describes it. And our method is avoidance. I don't understand why we're hiding that from the American people. If someone feels unsafe, what employer subjects their employees to a hostile work environment? Nobody does that.
Have you been asked
Why
to testify?
can't we be transparent about that?
Oh,
No,
no.
ma'am.
Oh,
Are
no.
you surprised? And would you do so if they asked?
I think she would, but no, she's not surprised.
I will come forward.
You know, I am surprised that you don't have current counsel representing you, Ms. Washington. Have you tried to get counsel and been unsuccessful in anyone representing you here?
Yes, apparently a lot of people are afraid to take on this case because no one wants to deal with the government. It seems that the Stafford Act is layered and complex, and most people that have tried to hold FEMA accountable for egregious acts in the past, they failed.
And here you are, waiting for a testimony on the Hill, asking a person to be human towards you. Marnie Washington, thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Ooh-wee. Now, in my opinion, do I think that she's being scapegoated? If her statement that she gave today is accurate, then in fact, yeah, she's being scapegoated. Could this have been something? I think many organizations are honestly, truthfully liked it, but when it comes down to specifically not helping people because of a political ideology, that's going to get rough, guys, okay? That's going to get very, very rough, specifically if that information is found out. Now, do I think that she herself had the ability to actually create policy again, guys? No, she doesn't have the ability to create policy. Is the head of FEMA going to ever say anything about it? No, they're just going to consistently lie to the American public. That's what they do. That's what everyone does, guys. They say one thing, and then later on we find out that the truth was exactly what we accused them of in the first place. Because it seems that is basically the consistent trend these years, guys, right? People are overly emotional about certain things. This can't be true, right? Then we find out it's true, and then all of a sudden it gets quiet. So I'm guessing this story is going to last for probably a week or so, and then we're going to hear nothing about it. But if they are, in fact, selectively deciding who to help after everyone pays taxes, that's a little crazy. Okay, that's a little crazy, and it means that all of the accusations, most likely regarding this topic, were absolutely, in fact, true. All right. But all right, guys, listen. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think that this is the nail in the coffin, so to speak. But all right, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.